Now, once in a while, Sam Elliott, the actor, comes through. And usually he just, he talks to me. We call that yipping. A yip is when someone talks to you. And, he's a good friend of Rumpelstiltskin's. And, well, when he appears to me, he's got the gray mustache and usually a big sombrero, but it's a cowboy hat sombrero. And he might wear, like, Mexican blanket over him. And, he likes Rumpelstiltskins. They like cigars. Well, they would smoke Cubans if they could get them, but, Arizona cigars, whatever they can get at Boot Hill. Sam likes whiskey. I suppose it's whatever the bottle is whiskey, but, American whiskey is usually bourbon, but I don't think they're fussy for Scotch. I don't think they like European brands. Canadian rye whiskey, if they could get it, I don't think they'd turn their nose up at it, but, as long as it said whiskey and had XXX on the bottle, they would consider that real whiskey. And you couldn't pass off synthahol from Star Trek. Star Trek had synthetic alcohol, and you couldn't pass that off on them. They know real whiskey. And cigars, well, as long as they're cigars, and, I don't think they smoke marijuana, wacky tobacco, no. Really not, no. It's just not a Western thing to do. That's like, I don't know even if they'd blame Mexicans for it, and Jamaicans maybe, but in Arizona, in those days, and, Boot Hill days, marijuana, no. It would be tobacco, whiskey, plain water, rainwater. They'd probably have something to collect rainwater for once in a blue moon. And then they'd put it in little brown jugs and put a cork stopper in it, and that would be their water. And that's what they'd use, when they had really bad breath from whiskey. They would have some water. They felt really dehydrated. And they don't want any of that Romulan ale. They don't want anything off planet. They want American whiskey. Let's see. So that's Sam. And then there's other Sams, like there's Sam Neill, the other Sam actor. And, he appears sometimes. He doesn't talk much, though. Sometimes the first Sam I told you, with the mustache, the Western Sam, he'll say he's Sam Neill, but he's not. He's the other Sam, but he says Sam Neill to make me crazy. Then there's Yosemite Sam, the comic character. But don't tell me he's a comic character. He's a real person. And, he comes around from time to time. And they all hang out with Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin's a small man, about 5'3", very skinny. He's very fast draw. No one wants to, play draw with Rumpelstiltskin. He dresses basically like somebody from Boot Hill, Arizona. He wears cowboy boots with spurs. I have no idea if he's got a horse. He never tells me. He sits in a wooden chair, and sometimes, what he'll do, he'll be in a wooden chair like this one, and then he'll lean it back. Don't know if you can see, but he'll lean it back against a wall. And then what he does is he likes to tap his feet. He taps his feet. And, he smokes cigars. And, they've got a spittoon. In the bar, they've got a spittoon, so they like to spit. Not too much, but, when, they got a big phlegmy ball and like, cat fur or something, they like to do that. The bar is pretty much a Western bar from like the OK Corral days. Gas lamps. They won't have electricity in there. They don't want it. They don't want anything electrical because they don't trust computers. They know about computers, but they prefer everything old school, mechanical things with metal gears and things, because they always think that something's going to go wrong, power failure, and then then they're going to be. They don't want that. They're very they were very happy in those days. And that's the way they like it. They don't want anything modern, electrical. And let's see. Beer does get delivered to the bar. I wouldn't say he drinks beer, but, maybe in the morning to brush his teeth or something. The other Sams, they're all saying whiskey, whiskey, whiskey. and who drinks beer little by little has beer, but he gets imported British beer. Little by little looks like Donald Pleasence, the actor, and he has got those little glasses, and he likes to read newspapers. He doesn't. There's no way. Well, you could bring in a laptop computer and a battery, but you know, little by little likes books, and paper newspapers. He likes pamphlets and not flyers. He's not much of a shopper unless he's been tasked to go and buy something. Let's see. The bar is a big, long wooden bar like you'd see in a Western. I haven't seen the door, so I don't